In this video, we're going to put the decal for the speedometer on the speedometer, and this is probably one of the more challenging ones to do, certainly just because of the size of it, and you do have to kind of lay it in there. So it definitely is one of the more challenging ones to do, but there's a few things that I'll show you here that we can do to make this easier. So I suggest you put a couple pieces of tape, one on each side and then one at the bottom, and the closer you get these kind of right to the top where you can just kind of almost feel them as you kind of put your finger over that, that's going to help you get that on there straight. Okay, and so take a little extra time and try to get those nice and straight. Don't just try and put them there real quickly, because the closer they are and the straighter they are, it's going to help you, and we'll see that in a minute. Okay, and the other thing too is just put a little, just roll a piece of tape and put it underneath, just to kind of hold it in place, just so it's not moving around on you. So the first thing we want to do is we want to check and make sure that all the letters are going to peel off good when we pull that paper backing off. And again, I kind of say this in every video, but I do my best to try to make sure that everything's sticking. But if these get hot and cold and get kind of moved around and folded and twisted, you will have occasions where the lettering will stay. And so just peel it real slow, and if anything happens to lift, just go ahead and go back, lay it right back down, and then come back over it with the popsicle stick in the spot that's lifting, and hit it again. Okay, and I usually do a half and just again lay it down real gently, so that it doesn't do exactly what it just did there. Lay it back down nice and even, and then do the other side. Okay, so we're just going to peel it up, and we just want to make sure that we got everything peeling all the way across. Okay, so now we're good. Let's just go ahead and we'll peel that all the way off. Okay, so now you're just going to lay this down right where the hoop that's going around. You want to just miss all of your pieces of tape. And so the biggest one, that's most important one, is the one at the bottom. You want to make sure that's straight. So just hold that up off of the speedometer just a little bit, and you want to just go ahead, and when you got it nice and straight and you're centered up between your two side tapes, you just want to drop it down nice and slow. Okay, and I'll tell you that you may be off just the tiniest little bit one way or the other. Like it looks like I'm a little bit thick over here and a little bit thin over there, but believe me, when you get it on and it's in the cluster and everything is done, you'll never notice that it's like that. I've done a bunch of these, and to be off a 32nd of an inch or something like that is not a big deal, but the better you are at it, obviously the more centered it'll be, but you will never notice that. So go ahead then, and you just want to go around this and take your time here. You want to make sure everything is pushed down well. The adhesive on these decals is really super strong, but you want to make sure you get enough pressure on there to get it all down so that it stays in place. Okay. And once you pull the clear off here, it makes it a lot harder to kind of mush them down. So it's just nice to do it. Just take a little extra time here and get that all down. Now, I usually tell everybody who buys a set of these, if you happen to screw this one up, which is possible, if you really make a mistake, don't just start pushing everything down real hard. Like if you get it on really crooked or something, and some of the letters start to stick, just take it off, and you'll be able to take those letters off if you're not really pushing hard on them and getting them really set on there. And then just drop me a line and I'll send you a replacement. So I know this is a challenging one, and if you need a second shot at it, I'm certainly happy to do that. The other thing too, you don't want to mash them on, is because if you start to pick them off, they will kind of mess your paint up. So again, if you make a big mistake and it doesn't look right, just take it off and then take the letters off just real gently, and we'll get you fixed up with another one. Okay? So I'm going to peel these off now. And again, you want to go kind of slow, make sure none of those letters, especially the little MPH in the corner, you want to make sure that that doesn't come up. And there you go. And like I said, once you take this tape off of these two sides, you're going to have a hard time noticing that that thing is off just a fraction of an inch. See that there? I mean, it's almost invisible. Alrighty, so that's the speedometer hoop.